Hello, beautiful people. How are you all doing on this Wednesday evening? Same time of the week, regular slot. We are here for another Jeff Cook. And tonight, I'm quite looking forward to this one. It's a little banker and choice meal that we whip out every now and then. A slightly less guilty way of enjoying pizza. So we've ramped it up with just to balance it out with a little bit of protein to make it a bit more balanced, a bit more delicious and super. And even though we need a little bit of fuel because this weekend's 25 hours of hard work, Jono the Rhino Mankeys is going to be putting in 25 hours of exercise in the 25-hour challenge. Hopefully you're joining us for that. I'm going to be behind the scenes for quite a bit and doing a fair bit in the kitchen. So hopefully you will all join us for that as well. But we need to start thinking about some fuel. So instead of being a high energy, high carb pizza, we're giving you a slightly better balanced one. But I also sent out a recipe for a low carb version. So tweaked it around. I got a bit of flack about calling something cauliflower pizza, but I don't mind. I was trying to do something. Essentially a little bit of egg protein powder and cauliflower if you really want the low carb version. That's totally cool. So that recipe is out there. I'll talk you through it a little bit, but we are doing the one with a little bit of carbs, so not too bad. What's epic about this, so the base with the passata is going to give you about 300 calories, absolutely nothing. Nice little whack of protein and carbs, it's fairly balanced. You put in some mozzarella there and you might take it up by another 150 calories or so. So you get away with a 450, 500 calorie meal and a normal sort of margarita pizza. You might be anywhere from 900 to 1,500 calories. So I have saved you guys a lot and it's still tasty and it's delicious. So let me know who is all here, how it's all going, and what your week has been like. Loading it all up here quickly. I can't see it myself, but there I am. Amy Jane is here, swiping in from Joburg. Lovely, it's been a while. Thank you. Good to see you back. Anne is here as well, swiping in. Lovely. Dash, you and the family are swiping in. Beautiful. Hopefully you're going to do a little pizza as well. Looking forward to that. Priscilla is here and prepared for this one and is excited, which is lovely. Nikki's here. Name and face. I don't know if you've actually met, but you've been in most of these, Nikki. Good to have you guys all here. This is our sort of last official January Cook with Wellness Warehouse. We've done 3 so far, which have been epic. We did our Power Bowl 2 weeks ago. Actually, I don't remember what we did last week. And our protein, the pulse pasta, which is beautiful, a little creamy sauce with butter beans. And then tonight we have pizza. So it's a bit of a reward. You've got through January. This month has absolutely flown. So you can afford to give yourself a little bit of leeway, but it's still a much better version than picking up the phone and dialing a quick takeaway. And it's going to take sort of most probably half the time. If you had to wait an hour for your delivery to come, we're going to have one out a little bit earlier. Vandy, how are you? Excited about pizza tonight. Lovely. Nicole is also excited. Don't know too many people who don't like pizza. So hopefully it's going to tickle the fancy for a lot of you. Let me know how everybody's doing. Cool. We'll recap. You can see all the ingredients are floating on the bottom of the screen there. We'll go through them in a second. It's nice and simple. There's actually not a lot of prep work here. The thing that'll take the most time, if you had it, you're just going to let the dough rise. But you can turn it around pretty quickly anyway. So we'll go through it in a second. I've doubled everything up. And feel free to do it as well, because you part cook these pizza bases. And what's quite nice is you can stick them in the freezer. So I've actually got a whole lot in the freezer anyway. We did some a couple of weeks ago. And then you can just whip them out, put a little topping on them, and stick them back in the oven. And you've got when you really feel like a pizza, you don't have to go destroy your entire goals because you've gone completely off plan. So it's all right. Okay. Lovely, guys. Let me know if you have any questions so far. Hopefully you've got your prep done. Let me bring up the ingredients quickly. They're just across here, and then we'll go through them. All right. So first up, we've got 100 grams of flour. And if you can find some stone ground, you just get a nicer flavor from stone ground. So that's why I've mentioned it on the recipe. It's 100 grams of general white flour, stone ground if you can find it. Then we've got 30 grams each of some whole wheat flour. Going to give you a little bit more fiber and a little bit more flavor. So this base it's got flavor, which is nice. It's not just plain flour and not a whole lot going on there. 30 grams of pea protein. If you remember, we did a talk on Friday about protein powders, talking through them. This is a pea protein isolate, so a nice high whack of protein. It also gives you a nice flavor to the base as well, so a little bit of earthiness, which is quite lekker. This is the one I'm using from Wellness Warehouse, Life Matrix, the yellow pea protein. Okay, so those are the sort of primary dry ingredients that go into the base. There's a little bit of sugar. Got some coconut sugar here. So there's 2 teaspoons of that. 2 tablespoons of some olive oil. A little bit of fat in the base just gives it a nice consistency and texture once it cooks. There was an error, and I'm going to apologize in advance, and hopefully no one's done this already, but it's not 30 grams of yeast. I had divided the whole recipe from the original big number of bases it does, but I didn't divide the yeast. You don't need 30 grams of yeast. You need a teaspoon, so it's about 5 or 6 grams of yeast is all you need for the amount of flour that we've got here. Please don't use 30 grams. 160 mils of sort of lukewarm water. And then toppings are kind of up to you. So you can, if you need more energy and you want to pump a whole lot into it, that's fine, but you're going to get a tasty, delicious meal without it. Passata, which is really just blitzed tomatoes. You can make your own. So stick them in the blender and just blitz up a whole bunch of tomatoes and you're going to get some passata. So why it's nice is there's nothing else in there, just tomatoes. Great. Whatever cheese you want, I do have a dairy-free mozzarella as an option. If you want to keep it vegan, that's cool. Everything else works. And you can do a vegetarian or a vegan cheese, or you can get another sort of mozzarella soft cheese that's going to melt. Some basil that'll go on that, so I'm going to keep it nice and simple. Tomato, cheese, and basil on top. Delicious. Done. All right. Cool. So 2 minutes before we kick off, put your oven on. So important thing with the pizza is getting that oven as hot as you can. If you've got a pizza stone, stick that in. Okay. In our move, I broke what else we use. So 200 degrees. But what also works nicely is if you go down to CTM or some tile shop, you get an unglazed porcelain tile and terracotta tile. And you can use that as your pizza stone. So they'll most probably give it to you for free as a sample. And you just get a nice unglazed terracotta tile, stick that in the oven. You can do your breads on there and your pizzas. The whole point of that is it's in the oven while it's getting nice and hot. So that heats up, and when the dough goes on there, it's going to give it a nice crispy base. What we're going to do, if you have an air fryer, use that as well. So the pizzas we did a couple of weeks ago, actually, we just did in the air fryer. It's so easy, it's just quick and simple. So I have one going in the oven and one in the air fryer as well, and just show you the versatility of it. It's amazing. All right, so oven's on to 200 degrees. If you've got a pizza stone, stick it in there. If you don't worry, just get a baking tray out and you can stick that in. And then only other thing, just to give it a little bit of time, put your yeast into your water just to let it bloom and start activating. So water that you're going to use.
Only 5 grams.
Yeah, please not 30 grams of yeast. Or 5 grams into your water.
Hello everybody, who's
You can't see it.
Oh,
Rhea has sorted out the kids. She's still not in it.
how do I get in there?
Yeah.
There we go. Hello, everybody.
We seem very narrow tonight. Let me go stand back. Rhea had her hair done tonight. Doesn't it look beautiful?
Oh, that's why I've been so late and in a rush.
Lovely.
I haven't had a haircut since I had my child, which is 2. So good.
Cool. How's everyone's last little prep doing? Kath is here and Alex is in the kitchen.
Hello, Catherine.
Ray, how are you doing? And all the wonderful legends that might be Aiden, there's one of them in the flesh.
Hello, Aiden.
Nice to be here. Tanya, who's with us tomorrow night. So, guys, if it wasn't a busy enough week, we've got all sorts going on. So, pizza night tonight. Tomorrow is a family segment with Siri, which is loads of fun. And we are doing a little curry in a hurry. Our kids love curry. They love rice and they love curry. So that's what we're doing. And Tanya, Meth, and the family is joining us as well. So it'll be cool to have a little bit of banter while we dish up a little curry to enjoy. We just got to keep the kids awake for that long. But
We've been entertained.
yeah. Seema, how are you doing? Belinda is here. Coach Ryan. Slapping in for Ryan's rebels. That doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
You are it. Cool. What we're going to do, I'll come talk rubbish to you in a second. Let's just get our dough together so we can give it a couple minutes just to relax. If you do have time and you're not in a rush, once you've done the dough, just let it rise for about 30 to 60 minutes. But I'm going to do it. We'll just let it rise for a couple minutes and then cook it off. So it just depends how hungry you are. I'm pretty hungry. Nicole, you pre-mixed yours. And I'm so sorry. You're gonna, the best I'd suggest is just increasing, if you've got everything else still, increasing the dough so that you've got less yeast to flour and everything else. So just increase those ratios, and you can get it up again. It's gonna be quite leavened. It will rise. Siri is in the house. Okay, so dough.
Hello, Siri.
If you've got forearms or a spoon, you can do it. I use my kitchen machine because life's so much easier. So what you're going to do is your flour, your sugar, your pea protein, both flours, and some salt, which isn't out there. Stick that into your mixer or into your bowl and just get it mixed together. Yeah. So 100 grams of flour, 30 grams of pea protein, 30 grams of whole wheat flour is all going in. With a little bit of salt and your sugar. Give it a little stir around. I'm going to show you what's happening with the yeast. You can see it's just, you've got a picture there, yeah. It's just activating a little bit. It's not entirely necessary, it's just going to save us a little bit of time. That as well. So protein powder going in. Okay, just give it a little stir. You've got salt.
Yeah.
Then you can stir it with a spoon if you want.
Right.
Beverly is here and Renata. Siri, it is totally acceptable. There's nothing better than a little bit of leftover pizza for breakfast.
Oh my goodness, it's the best.
But I can't say I've ever done a fresh pizza for breakfast. I have to give it some point. But leftover pizza is amazing.
The breakfast pizza. Okay.
Yeah.
Chuck an egg on it and then it made for the breakfast.
You can put an egg on anything and have it for breakfast, in my opinion. Okay, so all the dry ingredients are in, and we're just going to add the water, the yeast, and the oil. Turn it on and form a nice dough. It's super simple. Okay.
Like I wasn't listening. What
The rest. Oil, 2 tablespoons of oil, or 1 tablespoon. Sorry, I've doubled it for ours. And the yeast and the water. Alex, here to cook for the family. Your dough is ready and setting. Hopefully you didn't listen to my 30 grams of yeast, else that dough will already be in. but it's right. It's just more protein.
Yeah, and then that just put it
Leslie, you're having pizza. It's normally on the weekend, so watching for a healthy version. So that's another way to do it. So we need the fuel for this weekend, so we're starting with a little bit more energy from Wednesday, because 25 hours is a long time, but it's a nice thing to do on the weekend to know that you haven't completely done it, which is cool. If you're doing the cauliflower one, let me run you through that one quickly.
I'm supposed to be doing this, sir.
Yeah, that's all going.
The cauliflower, 500 grams of cauliflower, food processor, or put it on a grater or something, so you can get sort of little rice looking stuff, or food processor, get it nice and fine. 1 egg, 50 grams of protein powder, mix it together. You're going to get a nice dough. You can put a bit of flavor in there with some dried herbs, oregano or mixed herbs, grated garlic as well for a little bit of flavor in the base, and it's just going to come together. A bit of salt, done. And apart from that, you're going to kind of roll it out. So with the cauliflower, only thing to do is try to get as much moisture out of it so that it dries nicely and it's not a sort of the lip base. So squeeze it out. So you can, once you've grated it, put it in a tea towel and just squeeze out and get as much of that moisture out of it as possible. Okay. So much is adaptable. Siri is checking in from Germany. Siri, not Siri. Siri. Lucy, Coach Lucy, I hope you are feeling better. You're just watching tonight. We're going to try it on Friday. Angela, how are you doing? Lovely. Sounds like our machine can go a little bit quicker. It's going to pull together and we'll get a little dough and then we'll just knead it out for a minute or two. Just so it forms a nice dough. Belinda, excited for this. Pizza's always a good choice. Natalie is watching from work. Belinda says your hair looks like.
Thank you. What a nice still. Are you going to need it yet?
Need that.
What?
Yeah. Need it. Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay, so the dough is in the mixer. If you're just doing it manually because you have more energy and aren't as lazy as we are, good for you. Just give it a good stir until it starts coming together and then you can knead it out. And then we're going to flour a surface and just give it a little bit of work just to develop it and the gluten a little bit more so it holds together nice. Nikki Kemp, how are you? Anne says, welcome to Motherhood Dilemma. Haircuts every 2 years. Cool. Amber, hello, hello. Nicole's definitely joining tomorrow evening. Lovely. We're going to do a really quick and easy curry. Hopefully quick and easy. But it's a go-to for us. Great. Hopefully you can hear me over the mixer. Okay. Right. Yeah, we maybe added a little bit too much water, but we'll add some flour as we're eating it. Raw pizza dough. I'm a sucker for it. Taste it. Lovely. You can really taste it. Get lots of flour on that board. You're the other Ryan, right. Tanya, can't wait. It's going to be fun. You're going to show off your new pot. Yes, so you got properly spoiled with your Instant Pot Duo crisp. Loving it. Hopefully you're going to dust it off and show us how it's done tomorrow. Kat, our team I'm popping into watching these things. Right. So you can see Greer under pressure here with a very well floured board. The key to not making it stick and just knead it out. So we've got enough here for 4 pizzas, so it's going to look a little bit bigger than yours if you're just doing for 2. So there's not doing much kneading there.
No, well, that's what I'm doing. What am I doing?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like that, a pizza.
I don't know, I've never done it.
Okay. So,
Like that.
bring it in and push it out. There you go. We should do some, who's on here? Ryan, Coach Ryan. Let's do some forearm top-up classes with kneading dough. We
I
can
think we
tell
should
you
do like a class of techniques. How to make bread.
kitchen techniques.
Yeah, how to knead, how to make bread, how to do something.
Sounds like a plan. Our first one will be how to knead, and welcome to our first Master Jeff skills and techniques class. Today we are doing how to knead dough, and Greer has mastered it in 30 seconds, bringing it towards her and rolling it out in lovely fashion, and just keep going until your forearms burn.
So bring it towards me.
Oh yeah, like that. That's exactly what you're doing. There you go. That's why all the Italian nonnas have such big forearms from kneading pasta and pizza. Natasha, how are you? Julie, I can't wait to see your pics either. We're still waiting. So Julie had a lovely birthday weekend away. She's very committed to her one-on-one program, and she was sitting down to a game of backgammon with her husband, letting her hair down, and saying no to a little glass of wine. She stuck to the water because she was that committed. Amazing.
That is incredible.
Well done, Jules. Cool. Tanya, after Elephant's Eye on Sunday, you had a breakfast pizza at Cafe Rue. That's an egg on it. It's called the Hangover. Lovely. Put an egg on it and you can call it breakfast. I don't care what it is. Yes, the dream team is here. Coach Tash and Dominator. You guys are doing superb. Nikki's using Woolies wrap as your base tonight. Didn't get to the shop. So wraps, actually, when Seri asked me about tomorrow's sort of family thing, a couple go-tos that we have, and using wraps is one of them. We use them for quesadillas, we use them for pizzas, we use them for nachos, all sorts of things, and it forms a really good pizza base. There's also, just going to grab something else quickly.
At least I'm learning something new.
Yeah.
Next time I can knead the pizza.
So Wellness Warehouse also do these coconut wraps. So if you want a low-carb version, it's kind of already done for you. You can use those, and they're great. Pretty much coconut flour, kind of a couple of binders and things. So it'll be quite high fat. So you might just go easy on anything else. A bit of a protein topping and some veg would be gold. So maybe not mozzarella, and just a little bit of a protein topping on there. But you can use things like that as well as a base for your pizzas. Great. Pedro, you legend, how are you doing? Yeah, Tony, sprinkle some salt in the cauliflower. You can help draw out the water, exactly. You never get your A into G, Julie, for ingredients. You're too busy. You're too busy helping people change lives. So it's okay, you get a free pass. Candy says she can't wait to try this. All right, how are you feeling? Your forearms tired? Okay, break it into 2 balls. Ours will go into 4 because I doubled the recipe so we can make it extra. Yeah. And then we'll just let it chill for a minute. And then we're going to pre-bake it. So with nothing on, just to let it set in the oven for a couple minutes. We're going to take it out. Bit of passata, mozzarella, back in the oven, finished, done. Super easy. How easy was that? Easier than making a phone call. Mildred, all you want for Christmas is? Pizza. What are you going to say? An air fryer or something? Is that a GNT? Who are you talking to, Tash? Grace, we've got a glass of wine. It's Wednesday night. We get through to Wednesday night. We did better than last week. The kids have been all right because Harry's back at school today.
We did have an open bottle of Savage Wine. So
can't let that go to waste. Passata, Linda, is just blended tomatoes. So this stuff's great because it's just tomatoes, but you can also make your own. So if you want, you can roast them off first and just blend them up. Keep it going, blitz it until it's like liquidy, but it's just a slightly thinner version of tomato paste or tomato sauce. You can also get a tin of crushed tomatoes and send that through the blender and puree it out. Right. Amber, you also hate kneading dough by hand, having all that dough in your hands freaks you out. That's why I started in the mixer, and then it brings everything together. And then at least at this stage, it's okay. Okay, so you should have 2 sort of palm size balls. We've got 4 because we doubled everything. If you're not in a hurry and you want to let it rest for a while, you'll just get a slightly better pizza at the end of it. The flavors develop a little bit more, the gluten can relax and it rises and works out a little bit better. But most of us are hungry by now. Ryan, yes, for arm boosters. Love it. Make biscuits like a cat and fall towards yourself and repeat. Exactly. So when your cat's on your lap and doing that, bring it back and push. It's a good way of thinking. Okay. So oven is getting there. A little longer to heat up because I should have done it before we went live. Siri really enjoyed making the Thai chicken soup. It tasted so good. That was one of Coach Tony's beautiful recipes on the menu this week. So I'm glad to hear it. Yeah. Coach Bridge, how's it going? Melissa says it's going to be amazing. Guys, and then whatever toppings you want. Obviously, I said I'm keeping it nice and light and lean because it's flavor. I think margarita is pretty much the best pizza you can get. Anything more than 3 toppings on a pizza is it's not a pizza anymore. You're wasting time. So keep it to 3. If you need more protein, put it on. If you want to vary it up, that's cool. If you want more veg, great. But this is where we're going to go with. So let's roll out the first one. Keep your board well oiled. Yeah. Okay, and skill class number 2 will be rolling to try and keep it down. So, give you a little quick one. Get your ball. Yeah, I'll show you there. And just start flattening it out like it's a steering wheel. And it'll just get a little bit flatter and flatter and flatter, but it'll still be round. Okay. So that's semi-round. A little bit of flour. Okay, make sure it's not going to stick. When you roll it, just roll and turn through like 30 degrees. Okay, so that's it doesn't get oblong in one place and not in another. So you'll get it nice and round. You just keep going in sort of 30 degrees.
Is that?
So just bit by bit, roll out once, turn a little bit, roll out again, and it'll be closer to round than you didn't do it that way. But also, if it's not round, it doesn't really matter. Nothing wrong with a square pizza either. Carl, how are you doing? Is there a way to do this in gluten-free form for your son? And so you could use a gluten-free flour. Tanya was going to give it a crack. I don't know if you ended up doing it tonight, Tanya. But you can use a gluten-free flour, and most of them are suitable in this instance as well. Yeah. Came out quite big actually. So that's cool. All right. Then get a fork and just prick it all over so that when it rises, the steam's got some place to go. You don't get all bubbly, lumpy stuff. Here's it there. That's good. Tanya based your bases with olive oil and garlic before adding the passata. Perfect. So what I do, we're just going to put it in the oven for 5 minutes. Take it out. You can take it out, and if you want to do some herbs, you want to do some garlic, you want to, whatever you want to do with the passata or before, you can kind of do that. If you want to do the olive oil, and now It's okay, it'll just brown a little bit quicker because of the fat. And if you want to cook that garlic a little bit more, that's cool. Do it and let us know how it goes. Right, so Greer's on to number 2. Hopefully you guys are as well. Yes, Sam is getting his carb fix on for his. How many hours did you say, Sam? I think you said 3. Don't know. Depends how the back holds up. But more importantly, if you're not joining us for Sam's sing-along at, I think it's 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., you're going to miss out. So Sam is incredibly talented with a voice of an angel and the fingers of I'd say a pianist, but I've only seen you on a uke. So I'm looking forward to that. You're going to keep us going. Yeah, we heard Sam going. Yeah. We must maybe get Sam and Coach Tony to do a little duet for us. Lisa, gluten-free options. So the cauliflower version of this wouldn't just be low carb, it would also be gluten-free. But you can use a gluten-free flour mix and add the pea protein to that. And you'd get depending on the mix, a similar outcome. Cal is enjoying this. Have to try tomato-free and dairy-free versions, much like focaccia toppings. Perfect. So you can do exactly the same. Do some olive and rosemary and garlic, a little bit of olive oil. That'd be quite nice. A bit of cracked salt over the top, and you can keep it nice and sort of fresh, like a focaccia. Should be epic.
Yes, yeah.
Tanya used stone ground whole wheat flour. All right, so we're going to pre-baking. So in the oven is our pizza stone getting nice and hot. It's 200 degrees. They're just going to go in for 5 minutes quick. Where's yeah, and that's going. It'll literally be 5 or 6 minutes. You just want it to brown slightly, but not kind of be finished cooking. You're just going to set slightly. We're going to take it out. Passata will go on, a bit of cheese, a bit of basil. We'll go back in for 4 or 5 minutes just for the cheese to melt. And done. Right. Tanya, use your stone ground whole wheat flour. They've come out really well. Cool. Here we go. Belinda's posted the schedule that went live today. If you haven't checked it out, go have a look at that link. There's so much rad stuff going on.
It's so fun. I'm so excited for it.
I'm just having a quick look at these round pizzas behind me.
I know they're not.
Grace gone square now, so that's cool. We'll just have to make sure that they fit the.
Yeah, but when you start saying 30-degree angle.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Too much maths going on here. Rachel says the schedule for Saturday looks amazing. You get the recipes to cook along with you. Yes, you will. I have not finished them yet. So still kind of finishing that. I've got a lunch that I'm doing. Then got a very fun cook-off that's happening for dinner. That's going to be epic.
Oh my God, with Sue Allen. She's a profesh.
Yeah. I've got my work cut out for me. We might have to tie one hand behind her back or something. So that's going to be a little bit of fun. And you guys will get the ingredients and you can do it as well. See what everybody's recipes and outcomes are. Midnight feast. Got to keep Jono fueled through the dark hours. We've also got a couple of smoothies. We've got those guys on the blender vendor, the bicycle.
So is Johnny going to be doing the back?
Yeah. And then breakfast in the morning. So, obviously, if we are exercising that much, we need to be fueling properly. So, starting to dial it in, guys. And hopefully, everyone's thinking about their weekend and getting into a good headspace.
Last one was fun.
You see that? Greta has finished on a high note. The last pizza base. Okay. So, if you want to, stick your air fryer on 200. Put that in for 3 minutes, take it out, everything on, back in for 3 minutes, and it'll be gold as well. I haven't done that, we're just going to do it now. Yeah, just a little bit of color on it. It might be rising slightly, a little bit of puff going on. If you were able to do this in advance and let it rest for a while, it's going to rise slightly more. But that's cool. All right. So let's Yeah, it's just prep any ingredients you want to put on the top. So the passata is, there you go. We're just going to slice some cheese. And then where's that little one that you said? Okay, so whatever toppings you want to use. Got a lovely little soft cheese.
Yes, yeah.
Pizza and pasta, nothing compares to it when you make it at home, but you've got to be prepared for the flour bombing that happens. Okay, so that's a lovely soft cheese. Yeah, that'll be enough for one. We'll just do one pizza. We'll do the rest a little bit later. Be a good starter. I think I've answered that. Yeah, so we will share the recipes, and hopefully I'll get them done for you guys ASAP. Cool. Everyone on track. So it's been 5 minutes. Okay. You can do a little production line and take that one out, put the other one in, let it cool for a second while the other one's base is cooking. Just leave it on there. We won't, for the idea of showing you guys what's going on. So, yeah. And this is what it looks like. Lovely. Just a little bit of color. So we've got the tomato. Okay. And then we're just going to do a little bit of passata. I've got some dried oregano I'll put in there. So just a tablespoon of that. And whatever topping you like. So this is where you can adjust a little bit more to your sort of needs as well. If you need a little bit more of something, bang it on there. So there you go.
Yeah, this is really good.
Don't touch that. Okay, so passata on. We can maybe do a splash more. A little bit of herbs, if you've got some dried herbs, would be good. Oregano in the background.
So no.
Yeah, that's good. And so hello. Oh. Harry's got one of Coach Louis' wife beaters on by the looks of it. Just put them up. You can break them up a little bit. Nice and simple flavors: tomato, cheese, oregano, and we're going to put some basil in there. Stick it back in for a few minutes, and we're done. Let me know if you've changed your toppings at all, if you've done anything else a little bit differently. Okay, and then you'll go back in the oven. Right. Guys, all up to speed. Very simple, easy, and delicious way. So careful with the knife and some cheese. Nonsense.
For the pizza.
Yeah. Want some pizza?
That pizza.
Okay. So put your topping on and stick it back in. Right.
Some pizza.
Okay, so that'll go in literally just to crisp up a little bit more, so another 3 or 4 minutes. And then you'll be done. Cheese is going to melt, it's going to be delicious. And then we've got a few more that we can do. If you're going to do a few extras, once you've stuck it in for 3 minutes, take it out, let it cool, then put the passata on and freeze it. You can take that out and then you can put any topping on there that you want. So you just par cook it quickly, but you add the passata or the tomato paste or the tomato puree or whatever you want to use. and you can stick that in the freezer, and you'll have a few little bankers to do. Nikki did anchovies and capers with half a chicken boob. Nice. Sounds interesting there in your kitchen. Anchovies and capers, we'd have to do like a half and half here. Those would go into my half of the pizza. Not so sure they're going to Greer's half.
Not so sure, they definitely onto Greer's pizza.
Judith nearly sprayed your coffee everywhere. Didn't think anyone in SA was familiar with the wife pizza list. We have to look at it every day when we're talking to Coach Louis on Zoom. There's a little steamy Tash, his wife beater, and his comments, so you can feel sorry for us. Right. How's it looking?
Pretty good.
Smells good. The oregano's nice. It's giving a nice sort of smell to the kitchen and heating up. Basil. Cool. I think I've got all those questions and hopefully you guys are doing well. This is also our last week of open month. Obviously after this month we're back into Jeff Life. But a reminder of the epic value. Hopefully if there's anyone here who's not yet with us and a subscriber, all the epic value that you get within it. So if you're not yet, go sign up. If you're on Vitality, it's $150 a month. It's actually ridiculous. Otherwise, $200 a month, still nothing. Get access to the app. You get all of our workouts. You can log it. You can collect your dots. You can sign up to the badge challenges and get that all going. We've got so many cool things launching next month as well for our Life members. And you get access to all of these, all the ones we've done in the past, and everything that's kind of out there. The database of recipes, I think we've got a whole new dump of recipes about to go into the app as well. So there's loads going on there, which is fun. So if you're not, hopefully you've made the most of this month and you can jump on. And then if you want to take it to the next level, guys, last chance to lock in the price for the one-on-one. So still at 1950, which is crazy for everything you get: coaching, support, accountability, your tailored program, and the nutrition plan, and all of that. So you've got this week to nail it. So get that done because next week it's going up. Right. If you want any more info about that, there are a lot of coaches on here. Drop me a line, and get you started this week. Right. Cool. I reckon we have. Okay.
Okay.
We're putting Greer under pressure. We're going to make her use the pizza spade. She's also showing you her bum.
Yeah, man. Adrian.
Lovely. How pretty is that? Yeah. Put it in here now.
You put it there, I didn't.
A little bit of the bases. Okay. Lovely. Look at that. Nice color to it. Nice and simple. You can stick it at the basin if you haven't done it yet. Beautiful. Okay, that's done. Really quick. That.
I'm sure we're going to have Adrian isn't coming in here in a minute.
That's that. Done. Super. Eat it while it's hot. Get it while it's hot. Stick the other one and get it going. If you want to change the ingredients on the next one for a bit of variety, do it. For me, there's everything I need on the pizza there, which is great. So, I mean, for just over 400K. I think we've frozen. Hopefully we'll be back in a second. There we go, we are back. 3 starch, 2 protein, 1 fat, and a little bit of veg. Serve it with a side salad and you're perfect as well. So that for me looks beautiful. I'm hoping we haven't frozen because mine has. Just at the important time. Are we back? Yes, we are. Sorry about that. So, show me what your creations look like. Ours looks beautiful. You want to taste it? Oh.
You.
This is Greer's favorite part of the night.
It's going to be hot.
Oh, I'm going to taste it because I'm starving.
That's delicious.
It tastes like anything else,
Finish it.
but yeah, you've got me back. Thanks, Adrian. Lovely. The flavor and the base are so nice because you've got different flours, you've got the protein powder. It's not just a boring bland base. Simple flavors, 3 toppings. That's all you need on a pizza.
Yeah.
Quick and easy. I mean, that's been half an hour kind of start to finish in between all the rubbish that we've been jabbering. And super, super simple. You can take it where you want. You can meal prep it and do a few in advance. And to be honest, you're going to be having other meals that kind of match that in terms of calorie content anyway. So you don't even have to worry about that being sort of a cheat or a treat meal. That's delicious. We're going to finish our second one. What?
The lovely stove.
Untitled, isn't it beautiful?
The pride and joy of our kitchen that's yet to be done.
Yeah. We've got to sort out the rest of our kitchen now. So it's the beautiful thing in here. Electrical Industries, Untitled. Give them a shout. They're down here in Cape Town, but they send things all over the place. They've got a full range of all of them. So go have a look, different sizes, whatever.
And it's literally, it's huge. It's in the middle of our kitchen.
But it's the most important thing. Tash is ready to eat. Julie says it looks yummy. Hopefully yours, guys, looks as yummy. Adele, you're a bit late, but you've got the recipe. Just please change your recipe. Don't use 30 grams, at least use 1 teaspoon. And everyone else is hopefully just waiting for theirs to come out the oven. Post a pic for us. Let us know what it looks like and how it turns out. Stick it up on Jeff Together. I love seeing those things and have a fabulous flavor. And then we will see you guys. Well, we do firstly. We actually see you all tomorrow. Jeff Fan, we're doing curry in a hurry tomorrow. On Friday, we've got food for thought. We're talking about insulin and blood glucose control and diabetes. And then Saturday is the important one. Join us for the 25-hour challenge. If you haven't donated yet either, please hop up to the website and go donate there. We want to try and do our part and raise some money. So go on there, get it done, and then join us for your workout. Take your hours, check in with me while we're in the kitchen, helping John as well, and have some fun. All right. Thanks, love. You've done a super job.
Yeah.
Tastes amazing. That's embarrassing.
No, well, the dough and everything.
It's not, yeah, and not the last. Now that you know.
I live with you.
Easy. Guys, have a fabulous evening. I hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Otherwise Friday. Otherwise Saturday. How busy is that? And have a good one. Cheers.